Good afternoon. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Lab.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead. So today was Wednesday. We had the Fed minutes. We had news all over the board about what happened with President Trump and his remarks and everyone leaving his manufacturing program. And lo and behold, a little bit of a wishy-washy day where at first the market pushed up and then tried to fell a little bit, but nothing got too extreme. I think we're right in the middle of this rubber mat spot where there are some things that look good to be long, but might come in a little bit because they're extended. There are some things that are not acting well to be short. The advanced decline lines don't look great. Some sectors don't look great, and here we are, right back into the this area of resistance where do we fail or break above it? And I kind of don't know what would be the catalyst to break us above it. Most of the earnings are behind us, and no good news out of Washington. I don't think there's any pro-growth getting done. I know we've been kind of knew nothing's happening. We've been just trending along, and we have to use the technicals. But for me, I'm net short overnight. I hate being net short. If you've been watching me for 10 years, I usually get out of the way when I don't like the way things feel, and then I look to buy levels and trade around them and do that. I rarely do I go out net short with some size, and I think I have a decent amount on just the spiders. And I'm also, I've been holding positions pretty much most of the week, and I'm just not in them for overnight. I'm in BABA calls for earnings, but that's risk is premium paid. There are definitely some things you could be in and maybe just overlay a bigger SPY hedge or a Qs hedge or an IWM hedge, whatever you want, just in case tomorrow we get some weakness. We've gapped up 3 days in a row, so maybe tomorrow we gap down a little bit. I don't know. But anyway, let's just run through a few things. Here's a chart of the S&P cash. All in all, this is when the oscillator got to minus 60, and now we're basically flat as far as the oscillator. So we're not oversold anymore. So the market's going to have some good news to go up. Still above this spot, still showing, some commitment to it. Question is, can that hold, overnight, and what happens tomorrow? So at least you have this level here. This is 2460. That is an indecision today. That's your spot. Below this, maybe we come in and test the gap. Above this, anyone short like me, tomorrow is going to have to figure out, do we have to cover above 2474 because we're kind of hanging in there. I will not be adding to it and rolling it up. I'll be saying, hey, you know what? It is what it is. I'm going to get out of the way. It's August 16th. I shouldn't even be that active. But anyway, here's what that looks like. The Qs still hanging around today. A little bit of an indecision day, a little choppy, but I guess that makes sense after the size of the move that it had. Still doesn't look like it's it's not falling apart. This held higher. Remember we talked about it holding higher. This also held above this gap. A little bit of a doji today, but it's still hanging in there. This is really like the bears, in my opinion, last chance here. You have the outside day here, you had another outside day here. Now you have a doji. The question is, you almost have like a descending trend line here. Will it break above it and squeeze everybody who's been shorting since there, or tomorrow do we start to roll back down into the lower end of this range? I don't know. I'm not short the Qs, but definitely some things look a little wishy-washy. Even Apple that I've been in all week. To me, some guys made good money with the red dog reversal on day 4. Why is it usually for me? I usually when we're up day 3, day 4, I'm always getting a little bit more concerned. Like this was the gap up on this day. I got long. I like to add on day 2. I even sometimes add on day 3, but day 4 I look to get out and maybe get short. And I did get short, but I was at the gym and they pushed it above the high by 10 cents. I put a hard stop in and I wound up getting stopped out. So I'm not in any position in Apple overnight. Here's your little 2-day range. I'd love to see it move down to the 8-day, and that would help some overnight shorts and maybe give you a better stock, better area to buy. The market's not in FOMO land, and probably better to buy the 8-day or let it catch up versus be a buying first down day after 4 up days. I've also been in Tesla. I didn't take Tesla overnight, not for any particular reason. I just took off some risk this evening, and you have your descending channel here. I think unless there's some overnight upgrade of this and that, I think we'll have some reason, some room to buy it. If we open down tomorrow, I'll look to see if it could hold the 8-day still to maybe be a buyer versus end of the range. We shall see. It closed near the lows of today, so hasn't been able to do much here, but still above the 8-day, above the 21-day. But for me, my gut's telling me we're down tomorrow, at least on the open, maybe. So at least I'll have a better chance of better prices. If we're up, I'm wrong. And, kind of been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again, and I'll just figure out how to deal with it based on tomorrow. Amazon, we had a really nice red dog reversal, long, and then wound up giving a full round trip. Here was your big red dog reversal, and I talked about this gap this morning. It came into it that that 976, and then wound up later in the session. It made a nice move. You look at the 5 minutes, hard to see this way, but you'll see how once they shook some people out, here was your nice little red dog reversal. Okay, this actually we did pretty well with. Tried it in here, got stopped out, and the next time around I said, I don't care that I got stopped out here. Maybe they need to do that for it to get going. So bought some here. When it took back that pivot, then it had a nice flag. I actually bought more here. And then I sold some, and then I tweeted right around here, I think, saying, hey, $10 move, gotta love it, red dog reversal. I'm getting out because it's still vulnerable. And I didn't think this was going to happen, but it did, and it was just a good sale. Same way I had a bad cover on Apple, I had a good sale on Amazon. You can't get them all right. As far as like Facebook, to me, a little vulnerable, not falling apart, but again, there doesn't seem like there's much FOMO. Here's your resistance. There's Facebook. It still needs some time. Netflix actually, found some support at the 50-day. We talked about that this morning. There was a little bit of a red dog reversal, so you could have a tactical long. Maybe you took some overnight. This actually closed strong versus weak the way it's been. Big move from here down to there. So some of you guys might be long it. So if just say hey, I like the red dog reversal in Netflix, but I don't really love the overall market. Then you take a hedge in the market and you buy Netflix. So maybe the market opens down. You cover some of your hedge and Netflix opens down a little bit, you buy more, it goes green, you create cash flow around all those positions. But that's in a perfect world. Here's your little descending channel there. NVIDIA not acting special, but also not falling apart. Someone's like, what happened to NVIDIA? I'm like, well, you look where it was Friday. You look at the big move on Monday. Came into some resistance, and that's still in control. All in all, though, still in the top third of this big range or top half, so it's still showing a little bit of power. If it starts to fall down, then just back to being a choppy mess, which it could do, considering the time of year we're in. Some guys played Snap for a reversal. Snap, Snap actually gave you two different trades. Yesterday, we gave you a trade right here when it took back this pivot. This pivot was 1177, and then today it opened lower and took back this pivot. So two nice little buy from red to green trades with a plan, and now we'll see, if you're still in it, how does it handle that spot? I would be in less. Because Snap still has a heck of a lot to prove. Some of you guys were looking at gold, didn't really pull in much. Big move today, held above the 21-day, gave some guys a trade into the gap, and now we'll see if it goes back up to contend with the resistance. So all in all, some things to do today. If you came in long, we had some decent positions that we sold some strength in. Tried to play some from the short side in the top end of the range. Some worked, some didn't. I'm very light overnight, besides being short, heavy spiders. Let's hope that tomorrow we aren't up 15 handles or 10 handles, and I don't know what would cause that, but maybe, but I've seen crazier things. I'm thinking, with all the news flow and some of the earnings out of the way, et cetera, maybe, you get a little bit of downside that we could make some money short and cover and then figure out what level holds. But we'll know that tomorrow. At this point, never do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. Never have too much size if you're going to worry about it at night. And play to your strengths. And if you're not seeing it, this time of year could be low gross, low net, or just go to the beach, recharge your batteries, and start, up again after Labor Day when sometimes everyone's home from vacation, the volume increases, and things have a bit more continuity versus being choppy. With that said, later look for another segment. My son's coming in. We're doing the second segment of the Kids Take. Should be hopefully entertaining / slightly educational if you like it to show your kids. We shall see, or I'll see you in the morning call. Bye-bye.